everybody, I hope you're doing well. It's been a while. To be honest, the channel has been a little bit stagnant, but hopefully we can change that around. Today, Kenna and I are out and we're getting firewood. Got the trailer. So here in Minnesota, you can get a firewood permit, and it's actually like a federal land permit. Essentially, you can get quite a bit of firewood. The minimum that you spend is $20 for this permit, and for every $5 is a cord of wood. And you can get additional cords if you want, but I just got the $20 4-cord permit, and what that allows me to do is come out here into the national forests and cut firewood for having campfires, which works out nicely because one of the safety gifts at work that we just got is one of those solo stoves. So I want to have lots of firewood for when that comes. It's, as you guys know, the channel hasn't had too much activity on it. I personally have been very busy. Rose is 4, so not only is she in her gymnastics, and soon she'll also be in dance again, but she's 4 years old and keeps us busy. So on days that I'm not working, we're running the town, doing stuff like that, trying to keep up with her. And I had 2 or 3 camping videos and then the whole entire kitchen series on this hard drive, and the hard drive decided it wanted to stop working. So I need to bring it in and hopefully have them fix it if they can. I don't know what that's going to entail, but we lost all that. So I thought in this video I can show you guys what the kitchen looks like. It's pretty far along, honestly almost finished, and touch base on a lot of things because it's been a little while. So stay tuned. It's about, I don't know, 6:30 in the morning right now, and so when they come back here and they log out these nice acreages, the logging companies leave behind quite a bit of wood, as you can tell. This wood must be deemed not good by the lumber mill or the pulp mill that they're bringing it to. It's just not up to spec. So that's where we come in, because we're gonna pick it up, and boy, that's a puddle. The ground already seems really soft. Oh, I don't like that. Well, it's gravelly though, it's not bad. Yeah, we're not sinking in too much. How deep is this? Oh, she's kind of soft though. Look at how wet this is. Essentially what we're here for is stuff like that birch and stuff like that, but what do you guys think? Do we try it? The ground, she's soft, man, right in there. It'll be all right. Come on, Kenna. She went right through it, good. Oh, look at that. That's what the semi trucks are doing. They're grading the road. Huh. Well, I don't think they're going to be back here today. Let's hope they're not going to be back here today. Fix the road up and then close her off or something. I don't know. Anyways, let's continue on here. Like right there's a bunch of birch. That's a good size, and it just doesn't really make it to the mill right there. But I mean, that's awesome for firewood and stuff like that. So I'm looking for maple, birch, pine, whatever. It'll all burn. Oh, this stuff is mucky though. Oh, she's soft. Oh, shoot. Alright, hang on. Alright, we got as much from that stack, and there's some stuff over here that was good. So, looking to just cut stuff that doesn't have knots in it, because it's way easier for splitting. So this is all pretty good stuff. We're going to move down the road a little bit where there's a little more and cut a little more. But I mean, a few of these logs would make a couple hour fire. So I don't need this thing heaping today. A little bit at a time is pretty much all I need. While we're out here, we'll talk about the van and trailer combo. Like I mentioned, there is a possibility of a new vehicle entering the fleet, if you will. We don't really have a fleet, but you know what I'm trying to say. And there's going to be a whole story behind it, and I want to make an awesome video on it. I already have it planned out in my head, so I don't want to give away any details. But while I have you here, this van has it just rolled over 118,000 miles. And we got the trailer here as well I'll talk about. But when we bought this van, it had 49,000 miles on it, and we put these tires on it right away. So these tires have about 70,000 miles on them. They're Michelin's. We got them at Costco. If you get tires at Costco, you don't have to pay for them to be mounted. If you're wondering, these are the ones. XLTAS. I do all my own vehicle maintenance and all my own vehicle work. So other than balancing tires, rotate them, whatever, I didn't rotate these very much. We just pretty much drove on them. I rotated them maybe 3 times. If I would have rotated them more, I would probably get another winter out of them. But here's the fronts. The fronts are pretty much down wherever that wear bar is, to the wear bar. They're probably good for the summer, but I'll talk about that too. The backs, like I said, if I rotated these, they would have been better because the back has a little more life. So anyways, the reason why we're getting new tires, it's needed, but I could get a summer out of these for sure, except for the fact that after 2017, these vans did not come with spare tires. So I always keep an eye on my tires, because if I get a flat, I'm going to have to call somebody, and that's going to really, it's just going to annoy me. So we got new tires that I bought at home. I'll talk about those when I get home. But that's kind of the situation. The van has been great, and the van is just a front wheel drive. It's got me in many back roads, through many mud holes, all the stuff. And what I like about the van being 2-wheel drive is it kind of engages me as a driver to be a little more cautious, to get out and check that puddle, what's the bottom of it like, whatever. So it engages me to just not sit behind the wheel and figure that 4-wheel drive is going to see me through it, because that's not always the case. So the van's been really good. And you know what? If we could get a truck, we probably would. But they're so expensive, I don't know if I can afford that. So I had the truck before and learned a pretty good lesson on how expensive trucks can get. So there's that. The trailer's 4 years old. It also needs another new set of, it needs a new set of tires. I don't know how many miles you have to drive a trailer for the tires to wear out. I don't know, 20,000 miles or whatever. It's been a really good trailer. Couple things. Bought it at Northern Tool, and I purposefully got the mesh bottom. I had a flat deck trailer before, if you guys remember that one. The issue with that is in the winter, the snow falls, and if you don't shovel it off, it melts and makes a big layer of ice. Then when you actually have to use the trailer, it's either really slippery or you got to sit there and chip off tons of ice. So The mesh bottom I like. You have grip all the time. Summer, winter, the snow falls through it. I put these 2-foot plywood, untreated 3/4 inch plywood sides on it 2 years ago, and they're doing great. No paint, no nothing. They're doing awesome. And the little rack for canoe to put up on there. The biggest issue I have is with keeping lights good on this trailer, because when we go down these dirt roads, the rocks kick up and they take out the lights. So to try to prevent that, on these front ones, I lose these ones the most before, but I took a little piece of tin, which was actually that piece of a citronella candle, those metal ones. I cut it and I self-tapered it on so rocks get deflected, and that has been awesome. I haven't broken a light since on these front ones. And then on the back ones, I haven't done anything. A mud flap would probably be the best bet for these, but I probably go through a set, maybe sometimes 2 sets of these lights a year, because they get either smashed off or rocks bust them out, and then you get water in there, or in the wintertime you get salt in there and it ruins them. A good example of that is like these aren't all that old, and we already got a chip right here, and it's not much, but water will get in there. Obviously, you can tell by all the mud on there, and then it rots it out, and then it won't ground out, and then you have to replace them. So that's always been my problem, is these lights. There's this one. So that works out really nice. Especially when you have new tires on here, it just pelts this thing. But that's just the way it goes. So just a little, if you're having the same issue, that might help you out. But anyways, that's kind of the van trailer combo that I use for everything. The van does have, I put bags in it so it can hold a lot of weight, and tows a lot of weight a lot of the time. And then it has a 7-way connector on there also with trailer brakes. So if I needed to tow something really heavy, like whatever, and it had trailer brakes, I have control of that too. Another little thing with those trailer brakes is you can click it and it'll kick your lights on. So if you have somebody that's right on your butt on like the freeway, obviously you should never brake check somebody, but you can click that, and then they normally back off. So that's worked out nice for me also. Anyways, that's the van and the trailer. So let's get some more firewood. When I go home, I'll show you guys the new tires and the kitchen and stuff like that. This is how the road is coming in. Alright, I could probably be out here all day cutting wood, but that's more than enough for a few campfires. Let's start heading back and show you guys the house. Yeah, maybe when we're done we can play. Got you out here working in your jammies.
What?
Got you out here working in your pajamas. Alright, so we got home mid-morning, and then we just had a fun day. But I got the van all cleaned up and back in the garage. We went on a couple bike rides today with our e-bikes. E-bikes are awesome, but we put on roughly 20 miles on those today. And I didn't film it, but I had to do some fixing on my bolt motor. So I worked on that as well. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about right now is those tires. So I'll show you guys the tires that the van is going to be replaced, or these ones are going to be going on the van. So here's the tread pattern, pretty classic. I've seen this tread pattern. It's pretty much, I think, it's pretty common. These are Goodyears, but I've seen Firestone like this, and Cooper tires like this. Pretty much every tire company has a tire that looks exactly like that. But these are Goodyear Reliant all-season tires. Bought them through Walmart. And essentially, I was replacing my general grabber tires on the car. And I decided to go through and get Goodyear tires, these same exact ones, and they worked so well and they were such a good price, I decided I'm going to get them for the van. So obviously there's a difference between the car and the van, but what I can tell you is, like we talked about earlier, these Michelins on the van, to get them on there again, they're probably $800 to $850. For these Goodyear tires, shipped to my house was $450. You don't have to pay for shipping, but they're like $112 a piece, I think, roughly. I think they're probably even, I just seen they're having a deal on them, so they're probably even more affordable now. But $450 shipped to the house, and then I don't know what it's going to cost to put them on, but I'm going to imagine somewhere between $100 and $120 or something to get them installed on the van. So my thought on that was, are the Michelins, twice as quiet, do I get twice the performance out of the Michelins as I will these Goodyears? And I don't think that that's going to be the case, especially because these Goodyear Reliants are rated so well. We'll find out. We'll find out. But anyways, that's what we're putting on the van, and that'll be nice. The van needs some tires, especially doing like we did today, going and when it's a little muddy and slippery like that. That's where I start getting nervous with the van right now. Once I get these tires put on, it won't bother me anymore. I just don't want to get stuck. So anyways, so far the same tires, like I said, they're working great on my car. It's just to be determined how they're going to work on the van, if they're going to be as quiet, or if I'm going to notice a big difference come wintertime or whatever. If there is a big difference, I'm not happy with them, then I'll probably put the Michelins back on, but get a new set of those. But I think that these Goodyear tires are going to work just fine. Alright, we're inside now. It's just after 9 o'clock, and Rose is asleep. We did our little nighttime tidy up, and I want to show you guys the kitchen and dining area. And like I had mentioned earlier, all of the clips from ripping out the old kitchen, building these cabinets by hand, they were in flat pack boxes when we got them. All that stuff is on that hard drive that I can't get access to, so I'll have to send it in and see if they can recover it. If they can, these videos will start coming out. If not, this is the best I can do. So here we go. This is the new kitchen. I'll put a picture up of what the old kitchen looked like, but just to kind of down, these houses in this town, it's a company town, was a company town, and so they built a whole bunch of houses really fast. And so there's certain things about these houses that I guess had to be quick. And one thing that they did is they put metal kitchen cabinets in. Now it was 70 years ago, because this house was built in 54. So over the course of the 70 years, people had done their own little tweaks and modifications and whatever. In this kitchen, it was bad. So I am so happy to see it how it is today. Couple things you might notice. We don't have knobs, hardware, if you will, on stuff yet. I have all but 5. I'm waiting for 5 more pull knobs from Menards, and they have been out the last 2 times I've been there. So I am waiting for those. And then the second thing is lighting. I had replaced this light with one that I really initially thought was going to be good, but it wasn't. So I put this light back up. And then we had to move the window when we reconfigured these cabinets. So the old window was centered below the light here. The new one, as you can see, is shifted over quite a bit. And so I have to figure out what's going to go on with that. But the good thing is the one light bulb burnt out, so it kind of works if you don't look too close. But anyways, so yeah, these cabinets, they're from RTA.com. They came in flat packed boxes, and these are the same exact cabinets that Dad put into his Louisiana house project. I guess that would be actually Melissa's house. Same exact cabinets, color, and they're soft close, even the drawers, soft close. They're very nice. I would recommend them. The cabinets were about $3,000, shipped via semi right to the house. The appliances we got at Lowe's. Any big box store you go to, you can get an appliance package. So it's the microwave, the stove, the dishwasher, and the fridge all in one, typically of the same brand, but you can mix and match. But if you buy them all, you get a discount on the lot. So we went to Lowe's because they seemed to have the best prices at the time. We went with Whirlpool, except for the fridge, because the Whirlpool fridge seemed really... we didn't like the shelves in it. The shelves weren't configured right, and stuff like the lighting in there we didn't care for. So we went with the GE, which this GE I think was about $200 more, but we're happy with it. And we just went side by side. We didn't want the French doors. We didn't want anything too fancy, just a fridge. Countertops were from Menards. Sink was from Lowe's. The sink was mine. Sam and I both wanted a single basin sink. They sell two types. And the other one, it's kind of dips down. And this one was like seamless. And that's what I wanted. I wanted it like this. So this is what I'm most proud of in this kitchen. And then of course, we didn't just get your basic faucet. We just, we got a little bit of a fancy one, some might say, whatever. But it's really nice. And as much as I was unsure about having just a one basin sink versus the two, the one basin is awesome. We've had no issues just with a single basin sink. And Kenna, oh, you're tired out after all that wood today, I bet. And then the backsplash, went with a nice light backsplash. We bought this at Menards. The eventual thought is to get some of that under lighting for the cabinets, which would look really cool. So eventually I hope we can get to that. And then we painted everything kind of this light cream color, and then contrast it with the stained wood trim to kind of give it a little contrast, which I think works actually kind of well. I was unsure. But this is the best we could configure. The stove's against the wall. I still need to put a little trim piece there. But honestly, the flooring is another project that is going to have to get done. We had this flooring put in new when we bought the house. They did a whole bunch of work to it before we even got here. But the flooring was supposed to be done by a contractor that was in the deal. It was done by pretty much the homeowner in roughly 4 hours, because word got around. So it's a botched floor job. It's held up good enough for us, and it's too dark anyways. We want something lighter. So that's got to come as well. So when the time is right, we'll get to that. But that's I'm really proud of this kitchen. It's not very big in here, but for what the space we got, I feel like this was about the best scenario, because we threw around everything, putting cabinets here, putting the stove there, cutting out this wall and framing that in, or what can we do? Like, we threw around every situation we could, and this was about the best situation for, we're not going to live here forever, but we need it to be nice, livable, and something that somebody else would want to buy. Yeah, in fact, when we first moved in, Dad was talking about, let's take this whole wall and push it out, make this kitchen really big, and it was like, and then the dining room. And like I said, this is pretty much how we live. So as much as I want to move that stuff on the table, I want to be truthful to you guys. So this is, it's just paper planes and a box of dollar store, or a bag of dollar store stuff. But we have our nice signs there. We painted it the light color. Sam got these cool little lights here that work off the remote, so they can go on and you can set them for solids or whatever. So then in the evening, if you have the lights down low, it's kind of cute. So yeah, kind of what that looks like. And yeah, so the only thing I'm really waiting on is to figure out the lights, and then to get 5 more pull knobs for these doors and drawers. But yeah, I think these turned out really nice. They're very good quality. So the cabinets were $3,000. The appliances were about $2,500. Countertops, probably $250, $300. Sink was $250. Faucet was $150, I think. And then the backsplash, that was a couple $100. So I don't really know what I'm in it all together, but it's not too bad. I think it turned out really nice. So this is the next project. This whole room was this paneling that was painted gray. When we first did all the paperwork and stuff for the house, we requested that they painted it all gray. And what we found out is gray is too dark throughout the whole house. It made it seem so small in here and dark. So now we're lightening everything up to make it look more open. But the paneling had to go anyways. So I had noticed when I changed the window that behind it was sheetrock. I think this little addition for the mudroom was put on in like mid 70s. I think downstairs on the electric panel it says like 74. And they had 2 layers of paneling. So here's the painted layer, and here's the layer behind that. And then when they tiled the floor, they tiled right up to the paneling. So what's going to happen here is it also looks like they framed in, it was a closet. It was never a closet when we lived here. It didn't have doors or anything. But they framed this in, and the sheetrock just goes right behind it. Which makes sense because the window is centered with the room, the full room, and not between the closet and the wall. So that should have been a dead giveaway that I never noticed. But I'm ripping out all that because we're not going to put a door in here anyways. We want to do like a built-in. So all that's coming out, and then the sheetrock looks like it's all the way across. So that'll be good. It'll kind of brighten up that top shelf. And then I just have to finish the sheetrock work. I don't know what they were trying to do here, but I just have to mud and tape everything and paint it up. And we'll be in pretty good shape. Once again, I think a light color will be good in here. But yeah, I was looking at this and I'm like, wow, it looks load bearing, but I was like, this room's only like 8 foot by 6. So, and it's an addition, so that's not load bearing, it's just framed in like that. It's framed in actually pretty good, but it's not load bearing, so it's gonna go. So yeah, behind this is just sheetrock. Yeah. And then the tile, when we first moved in, underneath the rug right here, there's a big chunk of tile missing. And then there's another broken tile in there. And then this transition is wild. So all this tile is getting busted up. We already have linoleum floors going to go in here because it's tile slippery and linoleum typically isn't. And this room gets cold, so the linoleum should give it a little bit of an insulating factor on the floor. And the house isn't, I had to ask, is the house worth it? The house is not worth really expensive flooring in here. So we're just going to go linoleum, keep it basic, finish it off. It'll be bright. It'll look nice. So that's what's happening in here. And that's kind of the next project. And this was our most recent project, as in like just a few days ago. You guys can't really see it, but this is the front deck area, and the sidewalk was taken out right here, and this deck actually was a wraparound deck, but the water main froze before we owned the place. The water and sewage froze, so they cut the deck, and this was all last year, or when we first moved in, there wasn't actually very much grass and stuff here, so we've done a lot of work to the yard. And then we just did this. We put these nice, it's hard to see, I'm sorry, but these bullet blocks and red mulch in here, and it made such a difference. And what the plan is, if we get to it, make the deck as wide as the house, put in a sliding glass door, and then rip this deck off and just put a little, like, 3 stairs and a little landing to get in and out. And then we'll have this nice patio spot here, and the deck stairs will come off onto the patio spot. But originally there's a concrete spot there originally, and this was the sidewalk, this chunk, these 3. So yeah, 70 years worth of stuff we gotta change up or undo or whatever. So anyways, that's a basic rundown on what that is. I know it's dark, it's hard to see, but we did do that. Alright, so I'm gonna wrap up this video. You guys kind of seen what I did today and kind of how things are looking. It's coming along. I'm gonna start putting more effort into showing you guys these projects, and I'm bummed out about the kitchen one because it was pretty much like a year's worth of, from putting these cabinets together to going and buying all the different pieces and whatever. It really did come together nicely, so I was excited to put that one together, and then it's on that hard drive and I lost it. So anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be checking back with you shortly. So hope you have a good night.